Om. Om. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Sri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Om Sri Matre Namaha. Priyatma Bandhulara. We started about 79 weeks ago, or maybe 80 weeks ago, roughly, these discourses. We completed Telugu part. We covered all the 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, Parayanam as well as discourses. Then we completed English version in question answers. Then there also we almost completed the Bhagavad Gita in English. Then we wanted to discuss Bhagavad Gita as the, attainment for 4 Purusharthas. Bhagavad Gita, in fact, is called Moksha Shastra. Moksha Shastra means it is the doctrine or text to attain moksham, salvation, liberation, immortality. So, Bhagavad Gita is supposed to provide the basis for liberation or salvation of human life. And so, in that, there are 4 Purusharthas for human being, which our scriptures say that Dharmam, Ardham, Kamam, Moksham are the 4 Purusharthas. So, among the 4 Purusharthas, Moksham are the last Purushartha, salvation, immortality, liberation, is the ultimate, the highest of all the 4 Purusharthas. One must do earning of money, that is Ardham, by following the principles of Dharmam, and one should, get satisfied what are called desires, that is Kamam. Then that is following Dharmam, one should attain Ardham, one should fulfill the desires Kamam, and then he or she should also attain the last Purushartha, that is called Moksha. So the human birth has come only for that, because prior to the human birth, it is told very clearly in our scriptures that this is the 84th lakh birth. That means all of us would have taken a minimum of 83,99,999 births prior to attaining human birth. This could be our first human birth or second human birth, that we won't be knowing. But whatever it is, and even if we have taken more than once in the previous species or births, would have taken a minimum of 83,99,999 births. So, this is the 84th lakh birth, or plus, more than that. So, this birth has come, or the human birth has come, only to make yourself attain salvation. So, that is why Bhagavad Gita provides, as I have been telling, Nithya Jivitham Bhagavad Gita, that means how to attain all these 4 Purusharthas, following the principles enshrined in the Bhagavad Gita, we have been discussing. We discussed in depth about Ardham, and today we will talk about Moksham. Moksham means, as I said, attaining salvation. You see, water evaporates from the sea. It forms rivers. So river keeps on flowing, flowing, flowing. But ultimately, from its origin, it will come back to its origin. That means the origin of the river, where it has originated, it will come back to the place where it has given birth to that river, that is the ocean. So that is the birthplace. Till that time, the river will not stop. It keeps flowing, even though apparently it looks still and stagnant, but the river keeps flowing and it will not rest until it reaches its origin, that is the sea. Similarly, all the species in this universe, that is 84 lakhs of species, have come from God Almighty. So this has been told in our 15th chapter Bhagavad Gita. Mamaivamso jevaloke jevabhuta sanatanaha manashashtani indriyani prakrutistani kartati. That means these species, they are mamaivamso. They are part of me. God is telling, they are part of me. They have emanated from me. And so by using the principles given in the Bhagavad Gita, in the same 15th chapter, God told how to attain Purushottamatvam. Purushottamatvam means salvation, moksham, immortality, liberation. He has told very clearly by following the principles given in that chapter. In that chapter, succinctly, they have been given, not that they are not given elsewhere. Throughout the Bhagavad Gita, he has been giving, God has been telling time and again. But in 15th chapter, he has codified, he has consolidated and told. So, that is what we are trying to attain. So, for that, from today onwards, we will talk about that moksham. So, with this brief introduction, I will go to the main discourse. So, there are certain basic things which have been told not to be, abandoned. So, somebody has asked this question, what is worship according to Bhagavad Gita? So, what is worship means? How can we define? God himself has defined this. He told in Sloka 18-5, that is 18th chapter, Moksha Sannyasa Yogam, and the 5th Sloka, he told, Yajnadana tapak karma natyajyam. Yajnam, Danam and Tapas. Yajnam means, we discussed in 4th chapter. Danam, we discussed in 17th chapter. Karma, we discussed in 3rd chapter. Not that they are exclusive chapters, but they are discussed even in other chapters. So, these things, yajna, dana, tapak, karma. Yajnam, danam means giving charity. Karma means doing your work, duty. Karyameva tat, they must be compulsorily done. Why? Natyajam, they should not be abandoned. Tyajam means to renounce, to relinquish. You should not relinquish these three duties. Karyameva tat. What you have to do? You must compulsorily do them. What happens if you compulsorily do it? God telling, Yajñodanam tapaschaiva pavanani manishinam. By doing yajñam, dhanam, and tapas, tapas means meditation, worshipping God. This is what the questioner is asking, what is worship? I am telling, worshipping God. Pavanani manishinam, that means the person, whether it is she or he, they will be purified. See, somebody may ask, are we not pure? Not that we are not pure, but we want to become purer. And we want to become purest. When you become purer than the purest, then you merge with the God. That is what is called salvation. So you must become as great as God. You see, God is devoid of all these things. So if you do that, you will become just like God. There is no doubt about that. So, how to do it? That also he told at so many places. In 7th chapter, he told, Yesham tvantagatam papam jananam punyakarmanam te dvandva moha nirmukta bhajante mam dhradavrata. That means, when you liquidate your papas or the bad deeds which you have knowingly or unknowingly you might have done, Yesham tvantagatam papam. Papam means all bad deeds. Yesham tvantagatam papam jananam punya karmanam. By doing punya karmas, that means good deeds. If you do good deeds, what happens? Bad deeds will get liquidated. See, if we are borrowing money from somebody, when we repay it, what happens? The loan gets liquidated, isn't it? Similarly, you might have done knowingly or unknowingly some papas, not in this birth, but maybe in the previous births, not in one birth, but maybe in number of births you might have done. They will all get liquidated by doing punya karmas. That is why you must do punya karmas. That is why here he is telling, yajñam, dhanam and tapas. These three must be compulsorily done. Yesham tvantagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvandva moha nirmukta. That means dvandvas, all dualities. You will be vacillating between good and bad. You know, likes and dislikes. All these dvandvas, ragadveshamlu, sukadukkalu, jayapajayalu, manavamanalu, shitoshnalu, like that. All these, you will get rid of those dvandvas. That means you will be able to see them with equanimity. That he told in the 2nd chapter itself. See, all these things, they are transitory. They are not permanent. Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkada. Setam, setalam means coldness. Ushnam means hotness. They keep coming. In summer, we feel suffocated. In winter, we feel very cold. But he says, they are not permanent. They are transitory. They remain for some time. Matra sparshastu kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkada. So because of that, you will get sukham, you will get dukkham. But they are not permanent. They are transitory. So, sam titikshasva bharata. Have patience, my dear. Develop what you call patience, tolerance. So, if you do that, what happens? Matra sparshastu kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkada. Agamapayino. Agama, they will come and they will go. Anitya, they are not permanent. Summer will not last all the 12 months. Winter will not last all the 12 months. They are there for some time. So, have patience. Bear with them. They will go. Likewise, your dvandvas, your, what do you call, sukhas or dukkhas, all these dvandvas, they are called ragam or dvesham, jayam, apajayam, manam, avamanam. So pleasure, pain, they are all not permanent. They are only transitory. Bear with them. Develop tolerance. That is tam titikshasva bharata. He told. So we have to do that. And by doing that, what happens? You will be able to get more and more concentration on God or worshipping Him. So you will do more yajnas, you will do more danas, you will do, karma in the way it is expected to be done. Not that everybody is doing some karma or not, but they are not doing the way God told. God told, He told 4 principles. What did He say? Karmanye adhikaraste. You have got the right to do work. That's all. Adhikaram means right. You have got adhikaram to do work only. Karmanyeva mafaleshu kadachana. You don't have any right on its result. What will be the outcome? But most of the people, what they do, immediately when somebody asks, your boss asks you to do something, immediately, he will start counting. What do I get if I do? What do I get in return? What is the profit? What is the benefit? God says, you should not do that. You see, irrespective of profit or loss, profit or benefit, you simply do it. That is the job ordained on you. You do it. Result I will give you. What do you deserve? I will give you. That is what God says. So karmanyevadhikaraste mafaleshu kadachana ma karma falahetu. Don't become cause for your outcome of the karma. And to don't direct an act towards its ultimate result. You relinquish the result. You leave it to the God. God will give you what you deserve. But some people, because they are not able to control the what we call result, they may become akarmani. Akarmani means they don't do this. Why should I do it? But he says that is not good. So he told 4 principles. Karmanyevadhikaraste, ma phaleshu kadachana, ma karma phalahetu. That means don't become the cause of the result of your karma. Sangostu akarmani. Don't remain akarmani. That means without doing work, don't do like an idle man. So keep doing, keep worshipping the Lord. By worshipping the Lord, what happens? Your papas will go away. Whatever you might have done, knowingly, unknowingly, they will all get dissolved. So these are the principles. So the meaning of the above sloka, I think I have already told you. Pavanani manishinam. Manishi means man, human being will become pavanam. Pavanam means he will become very pious. He will get rid of all his papas. So karmas, that is duties such as yajnam, that is sacrificial ceremony to God, or dhanam, that is charity, and tapas, meditation, should not be neglected and left out. All these duties must invariably be performed because yajnam, dhanam, and tapas, etc. will help in purifying the humans. This is what God told in Sloka 18 chapter, 5th Sloka. So from the above, it is clear that all humans have necessarily to do 3 things. They are yajnam. There are about 12 types of yajnas given in 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, out of which at least one should be done by all humans in lifetime. Okay. If someone cannot do this for financial or other reason, they should at least do Namajapam, which according to God is equivalent to yajnam. As per Shloka 10-25, that is in 10th chapter, 25th Shloka, God told, Yajnanam japa yajñosmi, japa namadapam if you do, that is equivalent to yajnam, he told. Which means among yajnas, I am the japa yajnam. That is, you keep chanting my name, any name of God, the God's name you like, which amounts to your doing yajnam. And then dhanam. Dhanam means charity. Give something of what you can afford to others who are unprivileged than you. Example, you give money if you can. Otherwise, you give your old clothes. Otherwise, you give food. After your eating, whatever remains you give. See, a person, good person can give new clothes. He can give, money without waiting even for his own requirement, expenses. And he can give first offer of food before eating. You see, there are some people who look forward for somebody to partake food with them. See, they are all very pious deeds, you don't know, but they are. So then tapas. Tapas means meditation. Meditate on God at least for 10 to 15 minutes every day. See, 24 hours he has given. Out of that, can't you spend 10 to 15 minutes? I think we all can do it. So do it as a matter of duty. If you do that, doing one's duty correctly is the best worship to God. The above three are the mandatory worships that God expects every human, both man and woman, to do every day, in addition to his or her normal daily duties like official, household, agricultural, business-related, etc., etc. Best of all worships, the best among all is to do one's duty like worship. You need not even worship God. You need not even utter the name of God, but do your duty just like worship. By doing one's duty perfectly, God promised to give moksham for such people who do their work like worship. God promised in Shloka 18-46 of Bhagavad Gita, which says, Swakarmana tamabhyatya siddhim vendati manavaha. If you are doing swakarma, that means whatever karma, duty is ordained on you, if you do it with devotion, dedication, and, all concentration, he says, I will siddhim vendati manavaha. I will give you siddhi. Siddhi means moksham. I will give you liberation. This is the secret of doing one's work like worship. By doing your work with sincerity and devotion, as if it is a prayer to God, you will discharge all your duties. It will grant you moksham, liberation, salvation, immortality. The stories of Dharmavyadha, butcher by birth, and Tuladhara, provision store merchant, Vaishya, are outstanding examples of getting God's bliss by doing their duties correctly, just by doing duty as worship. I think some of them we already discussed during our discourses. Dharmavyadha, he was born in a caste whose duty is to butcher the goats or the sheep and sell the meat. But what he did, he didn't butcher any goat or sheep. He bought meat from the open market and he added his own profit. Maybe nobody does any business without adding 10 or 20%. So he did that. And also, he refrained from eating meat. He never ate meat. So neither he ate meat, nor he butchered any goat or sheep, but he bought meat from the market, from somebody, and resold to others by taking his own profit. For that, God was very much pleased. I think I already told you that story of Dharmavyadha and Kausika. So, this is the importance. Why we should do our duty means God has ordained you to do like that. That's all. So that is my answer to that question. Next, somebody is asking, I think Sushma Swaraj, the late Sushma Swaraj, we owe our respects to that great lady. She wanted Bhagavad Gita as a national book of India. So somebody is asking, do you also want this to be a national book? So he asked me that question. So I would say Sushma Swaraj and Sunday, those days, triggered a new row when she vociferously sought national scripture status for the Bhagavad Gita. Seeking at the Gita Prema Mahotsav, Prerana Mahotsav, organized to celebrate 5,151 years of religious book Gita at the Red Fort Maidan in New Delhi, Krishna said, Bhagavad Gita has answers to everybody's problems. And that is why I said it will, while standing in the parliament, that Srimad Bhagavad Gita should be declared as the national holy book. Everyone should read 2 slokas of Gita every day. It is a scripture of 700 slokas and it can be finished in a year. Read it again and continue this till the end. After reading it 3 to 4 times, you will discover a path to lead a life, the way I discovered, she said. Krishna Swaraj also advised psychiatrists to read and prescribe the Gita to patients suffering from depression. So, I 100% agree with our great beloved Sushma Swaraj that why our country is today in rambles and shambles is because we have neglected Bhagavad Gita. So if we do that, our country will be renovated, rejuvenated, and will go back to its past glory. So after he is asking my opinion. What is my opinion about Mrs. Sushma Swaraj's demand in asking Bhagavad Gita to be made a national book? Let me first outline from what all angles this question can be looked at. Firstly, why Bhagavad Gita alone is being asked to be made the national book, and so many other books are there. Secondly, there are any ulterior motives behind the demand by Sushma Swaraj, or is the demand purely in the public interest? Thirdly, by making Bhagavad Gita as national book, does India and Indian people at large are expected to be incurring any loss within the country or outside the country compared to the present system? Fourthly, are there any preachings in Bhagavad Gita directly or indirectly affecting any existing sections of Indian citizens in a way their living conditions, freedom of speech, freedom of education, freedom of employment, freedom of residence, freedom of profession, freedom of movement across the country, freedom of religion, etc., are being adversely affected so as to make their future life difficult on account of this envisaged change? If we consider the 4 questions above, we don't find any negative answers to questions 2, 3, and 4. Only the first question needs little elaboration and explanation. See, the first question is, Bhagavad Gita alone is being asked to be made as the national book. So other questions I have addressed. So if we consider dispassionately among so many books, it is only Bhagavad Gita which is outstanding as a book that contains all dharmic principles contained by majority of dharmic books. Besides, it does not contain any religious preachings. This is important. See, in the entire Bhagavad Gita of 700 slokas, not even one sloka, is directed towards any religion. So it contains principles which are useful for human beings in their day-to-day life, such as what to do and what not to do. See, many people, they don't know what is to be done, what is not to be done. There are answers for that in Bhagavad Gita. How to do and how not to do? There are answers. When to do and when not to do? There are answers. Where to do and where not to do? There are answers. What to eat and what not to eat? There are answers. What is the way to control anger? What is the way to meditate? What is God? How to read God? Where is God? Where God lives? Who is eligible to pray God? Does God make any promises? Does God fulfill the desires of devotees? Whom does God like? What is the ultimate one can get in this life? How are we distinguished from other species and other humans? Why there is so much diversity in this world? Who created this diversity? Is there a unifying force to end this divergence? Is peace special to only humans? Why so? Is intelligence the special prerogative of humans? Why? We don't know our wives, our husbands from the beginning, how they are brought together. Is it by chance or by choice? Is parentage by chance or by choice? If we want to become from ordinary humans to demigod, semi-god, or God itself, is it possible by ourselves? At whose behest sun is shining, rain is coming, on what reason? What is happening to people in this life and beyond this life, etc., etc., etc. Like this, Bhagavad Gita gives answers to all questions of human existence without touching any single religion. This is the reason Bhagavad Gita should be made a national book. From my experience in practicing Bhagavad Gita over the last 35 years, I can confidently say that the move to make Bhagavad Gita a national book will benefit the nation in the long run, to make India a pioneering country in sowing the seeds of unity, solidarity, secularism, and the concept of one caste, one religion, and one God among all humans, irrespective of caste, creed, color, custom, conviction, race, region, religion, country, continent, language, sex, poor, rich, superior, inferior, dull, smart, etc., etc., helps in forging world as one large family of humans. Further, Justice Sri S.N. Srivastava of Allahabad High Court expressed in the past to make Bhagavad Gita as a national book in accordance with Article 51A of Indian Constitution. In view of the above, I wholeheartedly vote for making Bhagavad Gita as a national book of India. Hari Om. This is my reply for that questioner who said, what is your view? So, according to the Bhagavad Gita, God wants all living creatures to attain moksha, to come out from their life cycle. Why did he send us to earth in the first place? This is somebody is asking now. And I also told that our main aim of human birth is to attain salvation, liberation, moksham. So somebody is asking. So my answer is, you are asking a question as to why God sent us on earth to start with, and why God is again asking us to attain moksha. The phenomena of creating, that is srishti, sustaining, that is sthiti, and destroying, that is laya, is the secret of God's powerful, playful, and sport game. It is a kreda. Kreda means it is a sport. Vakariki khedam, vakariki modam, sarvam telisina neeku vinodam. Somebody, some cine lyricist, he wrote like that. So, integral, enormous, God has integral, enormous, unparalleled wealth. God has integral dharma of unparalleled uniqueness. God has unequaling name and fame. God has unrivaled and incomparable wealth of bounty. God has a personified, immaculate, and magnificent jnanam. And God has utmost unattachment and renunciation of immeasurable, effulgent strength. And he has, and with infinite intelligence of all-powerful, magnificent magic wand, capable of doing and undoing constructive and destructive operations of all sorts. With all the above described unrivaled qualities, God has created 84 lakhs of creations, of which human creation is the crown creation of God. Humans can only speak, they can only think, they can only act with discretion and behave prudently. Virtually, only humans are in a position to rule the globe, and they are ruling also. After going through the 84 lakhs of cycles of birth and death, God has given all human beings an opportunity to brood over the matter of Srishti, Sthiti and Laya, game of God. What is happening? Why are we born? Why are we being born? And we are dying also. What is happening? Because He has given us intelligence, you must think on those lines. Otherwise, you are a dull-headed duck. You are just like any other species. You are wasting your life. So, after going through the 84 lakhs of cycles of birth and death, God has given all human beings an opportunity to brood over the matter of Srishti, Sthiti and Laya, game of God. The point is, one who understands the game of God stands a chance to become God himself or herself. God told this in Sloka 14-1 and 14-2. The Slokas 14-1 and 14-2 are given for ready reference. 14-1. Parambhuya pravakshami jnananam jnanamuttmam yajnatva munaya sarve param siddhimito gata. In fact, this sloka has driven me to pursue to its logical conclusion. He is telling Arjuna, he told Arjuna in the Gita, that means he is addressing the humanity also. Param bhuya pravaksham. Bhuya means in Sanskrit again. I told you, my dear, earlier, but I am telling again. Vakshami means to tell. Pravakshami, I am telling with emphasis. Emphatically, I am telling. What he is telling? Jnananam jnanam uttamam. This is the most respected jnanam of all jnanas. Jnananam jnanam uttamam. You see, Yajnatva, if you learn this jnanam, he says, Munaya sarve. Munaya sarve means all munis without exception. What did they get? Param siddhimito gatam. Gatam means in the past. They all got liberation, salvation, moksham. You see, then they all got, will he not give us? See, this is my logic. Then he had given to all without exception. Why not for me also, for my wife also? This is what we did. And he gave us. So, I am telling you again, I told you earlier number of times, but I am telling you again emphatically, this jnanam, what I am going to tell you now is better than the best jnanam. Jnananam jnanam uttamam. I mean, what God told, I am reiterating. By knowing this jnanam in the past, all rishis, without exception, that is Munaya Sarve, obtained moksham in the past. Param siddhimito gatam. This is the sum and substance of Sloka 14th chapter, first Sloka 14-1. In second Sloka of the same chapter, that is 14-2, what did he say? Idam jnanam upasritya mama sadharmya magata sargeti nopajayante pralayena vyasanti cha. He told the consequences. What will happen if you do this? The meaning of the above Sloka 14-2 is as follows. Those who follow and practice this jnanam, that is jnanam told in chapter 14, they will become equal to me. Equal to whom? God. They will not have to bother even when the pralayam, complete destruction, comes. That means even during destruction period, you don't have to worry. Because when the recreation, new creation takes place, we are not born again. You see, even though God is playing the game of Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, But once you attain salvation, you are not born again. So you don't have this botheration of, daily course. That's what he says. Here the important point we must note is that the people who follow this jnanam or people who practice the jnanam will become equal to God. Mama sadharmyamagata, he told. They will become just like me, on par with me. So what more promises we need from God? However, only a few people are utilizing the opportunity provided by God, as clearly told in Sloka 7-3 of Bhagavad Gita and attaining moksham. So, in 7-3, God told, Manushyanam sahasreshu kastit jatati siddhaye yatataamapi siddhanam kastinmam vetti tattvataha. That means out of thousands of people, only one fellow is trying. And out of those who are trying, out of many thousand, only one fellow is really knowing me. But he has given you opportunity to know. Why don't you know? In fact, you have come or you have taken human form only for this. Nothing else. These things all you enjoyed even your previous births also. That we discussed at length. Anyway, so please read Shloka 7-3 and its meaning to fully understand and appreciate the context, because I am not going to repeat that. Failure by humans is not utilizing the golden opportunity bestowed on blessing them with human form is insincerity, as given in Shloka 9-3 of Bhagavad Gita. Insincerity means ashraddha. In 9-3, what he told, ashraddhadana parama dharmasyasya parantapa aprapya mam nivartante mrityu samsaravatmuni. Because of the simple fact that they are not sincere in their duty, they are not attaining me. Ashraddhadana parama dharmasyasya parant aprapya mam. They are not attaining me. You see? Because of that, they are going back. He lamented. In fact, God has lamented that when I gave them this opportunity, they are not availing the opportunity. So, devotees must also read Sloka 9-1 and 9-2, which say that attaining moksham is very simple. Susukham, meaning easier than the easiest. You see, if I repeat all these things, it will become voluminous. I already told you in 9-1 and 9-2, that is Rajavidya, Rajaguksha Yogam, that is kingly science and kingly secret. He revealed it. Princely secret, princely science. So, you please read and understand. If you have any doubts, you send me a message. I will answer again, because otherwise, if I keep on repeating, it will take long time. So, devotees must read Shloka 9-1 and 9-2, which say that attaining moksham is very simple. Susukham, meaning easier than the easiest. The devotees will then understand why God is telling to the devotees that they are not able to attain moksham simply because of insincerity on the part of devotees, that he told in 3rd Shloka 9-3. We have been the partners of the God's game for some millions of years during the preceding 84 lakhs for our individual births. To get out of that game, God has given us all humans a golden chance to know the game of being born and dying, and again to be reborn, and again to die and reborn in the form of human birth. Once we lose this human form, human birth, we lose the golden opportunity also to redeem ourselves. You see, this also I explained earlier, because this is a very pious birth. People are not realizing what to do. See, just as God has lamented, I also lament people. In the Garuda Puranam, God told, you see, punagramam, punakshetram, punar vittam, punar dhanam, punar subha karma, Na sarire punah punah. That means you can earn, you can change to a new village, a new land, a new property, new wealth, new punya or papa karma. But you can't get the human body again. This is sacred. This is what God has told. I have given you out of compassion. You deserve it, I gave you. Not that, I gave you simply, but you deserved it, so I gave you. But you utilize that for what you have been given. That is what God says. So you must utilize this human body for enjoyment as well as attaining moksham, but not fritter away the opportunity by spending all the time in fleeting pleasures. The pleasures are not permanent. They last for small durations only, whereas moksham is totally permanent. Now you decide whether you want small intervals of pleasure or pleasure of a permanent nature, that is moksham. It is up to you. I think I have answered your doubt. So this is my answer for that question, what somebody has asked me. Next, somebody is telling, what do the verses beginning with Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verses 7 and 8 mean? So in fact, Hinduism believes in rebirth. God told he himself is born. He takes incarnation. When he is taking incarnation, that he told in that 7 and 8 loka, and it confirms that we have got rebirth. So for the question, when does God appear on earth? I have written an answer. I have told, explained also. So I don't want to. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir-bhavati bharata apyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srujamyaham. He told very clearly, whenever, dharma is on the verge of ruin, yada yada hi dharma, glani means it is in the descending order. There is, threatening to dharma, a threat to dharma. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir-bhavati bharata apyuthanam adharmasya. And adharmam is flourishing. Then he says, I will create myself. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir-bhavati bharata apyuthanam tadatmanam srujamyaham. I am creating myself. I am coming to this world. That means he is taking incarnation, reincarnation. He will come. By coming, what he will do? Paritranaya sadhunam, vinachaya dushkritam, dharma samsthapanardhaya, sambhavami yuge yuge. That means to destroy the evildoers and to protect the pious people. I am taking this reincarnation, but in every yuga, in every era, I come. And he proved also Rama-avtaram, Krishna-avtaram, Narasimha-avtaram, Vamana-avtaram, like that. So many, incarnations he proved. And he did what he is telling, or what he told in Bhagavad Gita. And he will do the same thing, I am telling you. So God promised that he will take reincarnation whenever there is threat to dharma. He will definitely. But when he does not take reincarnation, what does he do? There are pious people here, at least 5% of them. With them he will manage. You see, in office, not that all the 100% people are working with efficiency. I should not say that, but that is a fact. You see, only few people, workhorses are there. With those workhorses, we manage even donkey's job. You see? So like that, with these pious people, God, without coming himself, he is able to manage. He is doing that. Okay. So when shall the incarnation of God appear on the earth, and what role will the incarnation play in today's world, Kali Yuga? This is another question somebody is asking. So now my answer is, God very clearly told in Bhagavad Gita the secret of his incarnation. God's incarnation is explained from slokas 4-5 to 4-15 of Bhagavad Gita. You see, you gave a long answer, but I told only 2 slokas, 4-7 and 4-8. However, to give you the importance of God's reincarnation, I quote the following 2 important slokas. Reasons for reincarnation of God. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanidbhavati bharata abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyam. That is 4-7. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya duskrutam dharma samsthapanardhaya sambhavami yuge yuge. These are the 2 slokas. When dharma is on the decline, adharma is on the ascendancy, to stamp out adharma and to resurrect dharma, I means God, incarnate myself, that is 4-7, to save sadhus and sajjanas, that is the pious and people of high morals, and to protect them, and also to punish and liquidate the bad characters, and to re-establish dharma to a stronger foundation. I, that is God, reincarnate again and again in every yuga. That is the meaning of 4-8. So from the above, you can see that whenever dharma is declining in the present day society, incarnation of God appears to be drawing nearer. That is why the present cyclones, earthquakes, drought, floods, great mishaps are happening at frequent intervals. In 1940s and 1950s, cyclones used to occur once in a decade or 1.5 decades. In my childhood, my mother used to quote, when a పెద్ద తుఫాన్ వచ్చినప్పుడు అని చెప్పి, because it used to come only once in a decade or once in 15 years. But now these mishaps are occurring more frequently. This is because of increasing of adharma in the people and the society. See, God is displeased with the insincerity of people. They are doing all bad things. So God brings these cyclones. So how to avoid decline of dharma in society? God has told in the same Bhagavad Gita soon after creating this world how we people should conduct ourselves to take blessings from deities, Lord Vishnu, Rama, Shiva, Jagannatha, Vigneshwara, etc., and beget bountifulness on earth through their blessings. This is given in slokas 3-10 and 3-11 of Bhagavad Gita. These 2 slokas are as follows. Sahayajna praja srishta purovacha prajapatihi anena prasavishvadva neshavospishpa kamadhuk devan bhavayatan, that is 3-10. Now I am reciting 3-11. Devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantu vaha parasparam bhavayanta shreyas paramavaptyatha. The meaning of the above 2 slokas is as follows. Brahma created yajnas also along with his creation of humans and told them, may these yajnas work like Kamadhenu and bestow all your requirements. May you all, that means humans, approach and obtain all your human desires fulfilled through these yajnas. You, that means humans, satisfy the deities, Lord Vishnu, Rama, Shiva, Jagannatha, Vigneshwara, etc., through these yajnas. And these deities in turn will satisfy you, that is humans, by fulfilling your, that is humans' desires. By this mechanism of mutual satisfying of one another, may you, humans, all obtain the highest bliss. Shreya paramavapyata, that is what God told. That is what he conveyed in 3-10 and 3-11. Tell me frankly, how many of you are doing this? You are not doing. You see, just as you go to the officer and request for favor, you request God. He will give you. That's what he told in 3-10 and 3-11 of Bhagavad Gita. God told very clearly in the above two slokas that keep offering prayers to all the deities so that your human's welfare can be looked after by these deities. That is Lord Vishnu, Lord Rama, Lord Shiva, Lord Jagannatha, Lord Vigneshwara, etc. But how is the present attitude of humans? However, humans have forgotten all the deities, Lord Vishnu, Rama, Shiva, Jagannatha, Vigneshwara, etc., through whom all they begot everything on this earth. That is in the form of fruit grains, in the form of vegetables, in the form of fruits, nuts, cows, buffaloes, horses, engineers, scientists, poets, technologists, minerals, metals, petrol, diesel, etc., etc. They have forgotten that God only has given all these things. They have forgotten. So the message in this is that there is a mutual cooperation involved. If we want to get what we want, you give something to deities in the form of prayer. They deities give you to human something else: rain, crop, wealth, milk, vegetables, health, happiness, education, comfort, etc., etc. in return. That means in the society also we should help mutually one another. See, the message is very clear. Man is a social animal. He can't live alone. One depends on other for so many things. So one man should help the other man in society. From the above, it may be very clearly seen that God told very clearly to keep helping others, but not yourself. Then you will get bountiful things in life. You see? So breach of discipline and code of conduct by humans should be as God told. But today what is happening? Everybody is working only for himself or herself, not for others. This is against the wish of God. This outlook of people being only selfish must change. It is only then we can arrest the decline of morality in the society. So remedial action required from humans and society is, so my request to humanity at large is, please pray God Almighty. All deities are God's subordinates. And so you get all your requirements. And by praying God Almighty alone, pray God every day for His blessing. Have more consideration for others than yourself, and treat society itself as God. Do your duty sincerely and honestly. Love thy neighbor as you love yourself. Keep praying God for what all you want. If you do this, we can then hope for better life in this world. Sarve jana sukhino bhavantu. You see, the whole world can be happier than the happiest by adhering to these principles. God told already, but people are not following. What He can do? So I think we will stop here for today. We will continue. So in fact, people are not reading Bhagavad Gita. They are, even if they read, they are not understanding Bhagavad Gita. Even if they understand, they are not following Bhagavad Gita. But by following Bhagavad Gita, by understanding Bhagavad Gita, I am telling you that you get what you want, and you will get ultimate Purushartha, that is moksham, liberation, salvation, immortality also. So my dear friends, I will pray God and then close for today. Om Yadaksharapadabhrashtam matra hinam ched bhavet Tatsarvam kshamyatam deva paramesha namostu te harihi om tat sat.
Harihi Om.
Harihi om.
It's really good session, sir, today. Yeah. It's very good session. Adrenaline rush is there. It's a very good session.
We will try to do justice for what we are doing, but only I expect people to take it to heart and do it more sincerely, so that you see, we all have lack of time because of so many things. But in spite of that, see, just as I told you, when I did not get time to read Bhagavad Gita, what I did, I got up early morning, 4 o'clock. And because of that, today I am in this position. See, like that everybody should do. You buy some time. God has given you 24 hours, but more than 24 hours, it is not possible. So those 24 hours, you find time. I would say 1 hour, half an hour, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, as you like. The more the merrier. Okay? Okay.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om.